Hello everybody. I want to give you a simple demonstration right now. The last couple days I've been thinking pretty deeply on this, and I believe that it's possible to build a vehicle that will recharge itself as you drive, okay? You might have watched a few videos I recorded the last couple days. I've had these ideas for a few years now. I've never actually done a demonstration though on how this works. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to show you. Alright? Right here you're looking at a motor. Just a regular electric motor. This is from a vacuum cleaner. It was a battery operated vacuum cleaner that I found in the trash. Originally I was going to take it to the scrapyard and, throw it in with a bunch of other metal I had. But I decided to save it because I want to give you a demonstration. Now right here is an electric meter from something else I found in the trash. It's an SWR meter to a CB radio. Now, instead of me talking, I'm just going to show you. Alright, there's nothing fancy here. This transformer is not hooked up. This is a step-up transformer. I don't want to put that near the computer. It'll mess up the hard drive. But this is a step-up transformer I've taken out of a television set. One with the picture tube in the back. Now, right here is an example. You ain't got to move this motor fast. Alright? You just turn the shaft and watch. Hang on. Watch this. Watch that meter. You turn it one time. You ready? Turn it one time. One revolution. Or whatever the hell you call it. One time it spins. Boom. Now imagine if you're on a bicycle and that's spinning constantly. You're generating a lot of power there. Now if you turn it in the other direction, it's going to make the meter go backwards. So you got to be careful which direction you spin it in. But now that I know the camera's not going to cut me off like it did the last two times I was trying to tell you this, what you can do is you can hook a transformer like this one to this motor. If you have that motor mounted to a bicycle or you have the motor mounted to a car, believe it or not, a motor like that will recharge one of those smart cars. I know it doesn't seem possible, but with a transformer like that right there, the little 3 or 4 volts that this motor is putting out, that can amplify up to 40 volts or 50 volts. Alright, now let's say you have 2 or 3 of these. That 50 volts now comes to like 150 volts. Okay, so the more of these little transformers you have, it's very simple electronics. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. It's nothing that you got to have all these degrees and certificates and shit for. It's basic stuff. Alright, these ideas have been out for many years. When Tesla was around, he was experimenting with this kind of stuff. Alright, now, obviously they're not going to teach you that in school. They're not going to teach you that on History Channel or anything like that, but it's common knowledge. If you do research, you'll find out. It's stuff's been around. But these corporations and these big companies don't want that because then people wouldn't be able, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to control us. The government wouldn't be able to control us. The mind police. They don't want people like you and me thinking of this stuff, and they don't want this video to get out. But that's one of the reasons I'm putting it out there, because I don't want anybody to make money off of this stuff or anything. I just want them to put the idea out there, and I want somebody that has the materials and somebody that has the money, whoever, just to get the idea out there and let people know it's possible. Alright, because right now, I'm sure you already know this, the government is completely out of control and these corporations are taking over the world. And there's so many stupid people out there that just go right along with it. They believe everything they're taught. They believe everything that they hear. And, if we tell them that this kind of stuff is possible, they look at us like we're nuts, alright? Smart people right now and people that actually think logically and think creatively on their own, like natural people do, people are naturally curious creatures. Alright? We're considered crazy. We're considered conspiracy theorists. And we're, they look at us like we're nuts. And that's the way they want it. Alright? Stupid people look at smart people like they're crazy. But, just so you know, whoever you are watching this, alright, I just want to give you one more demonstration. You turn this motor. Got to hold it in my hand in order to spin it. But watch. You turn this motor. It generates power. Alright, that's raw evidence right in front of you, right? So if anybody tells you a DC motor does not generate electric, just know in your head that they're stupid and they haven't tried it. They haven't done any research. All right, now people say, oh, well, perpetual, I think that's what it's called, perpetual energy. They say it's not possible. Yeah, it might not be possible without a transformer or without a motor that's powerful enough to produce more electricity than the vehicle is using. Yeah, if the vehicle's using electricity, it's obviously going to need a little more electricity to recharge itself as you go. But one example is if you have a smart car, one of them ugly little golf cart looking things, that's a good idea. Or a good example, I'm sorry. But good example because they have electric batteries in them from what I understand. I could be wrong, but I know there's cars out there with electric batteries and they want you to plug into the wall to charge those things. But I seen a channel on YouTube a little while ago of a man, he had one of those electric cars, and the charger that you're supposed to plug into the wall, he had a power adapter that you plug into your cigarette lighter and it gives you 120 volts. Long story short, as he's driving the car, he plugs it into the cigarette lighter and he drove over 100,000 miles without spending $1 on gas, without plugging into the wall. Over 100,000 miles he drove. But of course, the channel's off of YouTube. I look for it. If I find it, I'll definitely paste the link in this video. But long story short, they don't want that information out there. But anybody with common knowledge, anybody with common sense will think like, yo, I think that's possible, man. Let me give that a try. But there's so many people nowadays that are just, they're brainwashed. So all I can, that's the best way I could describe it, is they're brainwashed. And they're brainwashed to not think on their own. They're brainwashed to not think creatively and to put things to a test. You know what I mean? There's so many people I know right now. I'm not saying they're bad spirits or anything like that, but they'll believe 1,000 lies from their television. They'll believe 1,000,000 lies from Donald Trump or Hillary or any of these political idiots, but they won't believe any of our ideas. They won't believe anything you or me say. I'm not saying anybody in particular. There's just a lot of people I know that I've met in my journeys through daily life. They won't put anything to a test. You know, they'll say, oh, that's not possible. Oh, it's bullshit. But then they won't test anything. I know this is just a simple test right here, but as you see, man, this is raw, pure. Here, I got to hold the motor for me to turn it. All right, I don't want you to think I'm bullshitting here. Look, turn the spindle. One of the wires must be loose. Hang on a minute. See, look, you turn the spindle. Turn it one time, look. Turn it faster. All right? Whoever you are, I just want you to know it's possible, all right? If you got the materials or you have an electric car or you have an electric bicycle or whatever, put it to the test. The main thing is you got to have a diode, all right? A diode's like a door. It'll stop the electricity from going in one direction. That means if you stop the bike, this motor's not going to keep turning. But when the bike is moving, the diode will allow the electric to go from the motor to the battery, but not from the battery to this. So you don't want the bike to try and take off when you're trying to stop. But another thing, you might not need a step-up transformer, but there's a good chance you might need one. Don't mind the cell phone charger here and all that. That has nothing to do with the video. I just had that sitting there before I even got into all this. But I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to let you think on your own. It's just an idea, something I thought of on my own, and I really think it could change the world if more people knew about it. It's simple, but just think, if you had a car that would recharge itself, dude, you never have to pay for gas. You could go wherever you want, man. Get a bicycle that would recharge itself as you drive. You don't have to pedal. The bike just takes you where you want to go. That takes away the government's grasp of control. Their main way of controlling the society is through money. You know what I mean? You need money to go here. You need money to go there. That's how they control the prices of everything. Everything needs transportation. Everything revolves around gas. Imagine if there was no gas. The food prices, everything would go down because gas is so expensive. That's why everything else is expensive. Oh, it costs $20 to transport this much food from here to there. If you take away that $20, think of how cheap everything would be, man. It's just an idea. Just think about it. You know, and I'm putting the $20 out there just as an example. I don't know how much it costs to transport food from here to one place or whatever. But just think, dude, if there was no gas, if they had vehicles that would recharge themselves, and it would be free to transport things from here all the way across the country and back. It would be free. You'd only be paying the driver and tolls and all the other stuff that comes with it. But still, the gas is the main factor here. If you eliminate gas, you eliminate oil, and you switch to electricity and self-powered vehicles, you know, I could never see the government selling these things. But at the same time, who's stopping us from building them? Who's stopping you and me from building a vehicle that recharges itself that we can use for our own convenience? Who's stopping us? I wouldn't be surprised if one day they put a law against it. You know, yeah, there may be a law against you building them and selling them because somebody 80 years ago patented it. Nobody ever knew about it. There may be a law from you and me from us selling these, but who is going to stop us from building them and using them for our own convenience? Think about that. The mind police don't want us to think about this, but you and me, let's think about it and let's tell others. All right? I'm going to let you go now. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you can come up with better ideas. All right? Let the God of peace be with you.